films were so good. And that just goes to show you the resilience of Africans. No matter the situation, we rise. We rise and we thrive. And our theme this year is restoration. As we believe that this is a season where we as Africans and we as filmmakers are picking up the aftermath of all that we have been through and telling our stories in a very, very authentic way. The eyes of the world on Africa are content what everybody's looking for right now. And that is why we're going to be sharing with you more about two projects that we have going on, that we just launched, which is to facilitate that ecosystem of filmmakers and being able to set up their films and up and go very efficiently, and also to raise the next generation.
Expectant, hoping to know what films are those that will be nominated for 2021 African Movie Academy Awards. But ladies and gentlemen, I'd like us to, just in a short while, look at the top 30 films that made it this year.
Так, кто тут у нас? Рейчинда. Hey, my man. Hey. Ah, he's a famous actor. Looks like a happy family. And what about his address? That's it. You should be. Теперь нанесем решающий удар. These guys will be operating anywhere in the world. They're watching you right now.
Shortly, we're going to find out who were nominated in what category of AMA. Well, we are going to be introducing members of the jury, especially the head of the jury, but that will come after a few things we have. Last year, the Nigerian film, fortunately after a long time, won the best film, the category, at the AMA 2020, and that's the movie The Milkmaid. Please put your hands together for that movie. He also went ahead to represent Nigeria at the Academy Awards, popularly known as the Oscars, and that's another place to clap. And this time around, we have the filmmaker behind the movie The Milkmaid, and we're going to just have him for a minute for some moments before we get to the jury and then the announcement of the nominees. So ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to welcome the director of The Milkmaid, which is the winner of the Best Film for 2020 and Nigeria's nomination to the Oscars. Let's welcome Mr. Desmond of Ogeli, who's here. Please put your hands together to receive him. Yeah, Mr. Desmond. Thank you. We can still clap further as he comes down. I mean, it's not easy to make such a film in an African language and win such accolades across the world. Thank you very much.
Well, good evening, everyone. It's a pleasure and an honor to be standing here before you. Last year, we received the very great honor of having our film, The Milkmaid, not just nominated or selected to represent Nigeria at the Oscars, but also receiving 8 nominations at AMA 2020 and being fortunate enough to win 5 of them, including Best Film. Personally, it was certainly unexpected, particularly because of the, as usual, consistently very high quality of films that were in that category. representing the best films from across the continent. So it was a very great honor for us, and for us, certainly a validation of the sort of values that we sought to bring to the production, and to have those values so publicly acknowledged by the AMA, such a prestigious, the most prestigious awards platform on the continent, was very, very rewarding indeed. And what it's done so far, has, just having that tag, having that title of having won Best Film at AMA has given us as a production with our film, access into, some corridors and some places that perhaps might have been closed, particularly places like international film festivals, just being able to present our film as the best film from Africa has been extremely rewarding and productive for us. So once again, I'd like to thank AMA once again for this very great honor afforded to our film. I'd like to congratulate AMA again for what promises to be another phenomenal and awesome award ceremony this year. And I'd also like to congratulate the nominees for AMA 2021 and wish them all the best ahead of the final announcement of the winners later this year. Thank you very much.
Yes, you mentioned that the film, I'm sure you would like to ask maybe one or two questions before we, it's not a little story. We should always acknowledge the fact that someone made a film in Africa in an African language, in a Nigerian language, and he went ahead to, a lot of people have always said that, it's a great story, why tell it in Hausa or in Igbo, so when you were starting the journey to make it Milkmaid, what inspired you? Why did you even think of it to make it in an African language?
Well, first of all, I wanted to make a film that was pertinent to very topical issues in our environment. I wanted a film that represented something that was extremely contemporary and what was going on in our society. Clearly, one of the things that had been raging on in our dear country, obviously, had been the phenomenon of extremism, basically. But not just that it was topical, it was also that it wasn't, in my opinion, being adequately represented in the medium of film, particularly in Nigeria, or probably anywhere else really, even internationally. So I certainly felt a strong responsibility that if we don't tell our own stories, we're going to have outsiders coming into our country and telling our stories, and I didn't want to have that in my country. So that was certainly a big part of my motivation. In terms of why in the Hausa language, well, we were striving for as much authenticity as possible, and certainly for the sort of story we were trying to tell, it would have been unnatural for those characters to be speaking any other language apart from Hausa. And then thirdly, I just wanted to showcase Nigerian culture to the world. We have lovely languages, we have lovely culture, and I wanted to include as much of that in our film.
All right, please round of applause for that response. Thank you. And finally, I'll ask this. Distribution-wise, usually it's a problem to even distribute a film that is made in the English language, let alone the one, most of our people that are supposed to be the middle people to the platforms usually make it difficult for films as yours. How has the journey been so far?
Well, the journey has been an interesting one. It's certainly a lot of lessons being learned along the way, and we continue to learn those lessons. It's not a perfect world, it's not a perfect system, but we are committed to getting the best possible deal that we can for our film, and particularly on the part of those who invested money and time and resources in the film. And however long it takes for us to get the right deal, we will certainly do that. But the signs so far have been positive, but we're trying to be as patient as we can to make sure we get a deal that really works for everybody concerned.
All right, we'll just take 2 questions. We have someone raising their hand over there, and someone else over there. So I'll pass the mic to you.
I would like to know, what is it like at the box office? How will you describe the performance at the box office? Thank you.
Well, I can answer that 2 ways. I can answer that facetiously and say the performance has been great. but that's because we haven't actually gone to the box office yet. So the box office is one option to show the film. Obviously, these days, streaming platforms are another option. So we're actually exploring the possibility of both options at the moment, but we haven't gotten box office yet.
Commercially, I would say.
The film hasn't been released commercially yet.
Oh,
Yeah, that's where it is. So we're currently looking for the right form of distribution for the film, be it box office, be it streaming platform.
All right. I think that's about it. Is there any? Okay. So please, thank you very much, Mr. Desmond, for coming through. Please put your hands together for him. And congratulations. And we wish you the best with the movie. Okay, so okay. I'd like us to. Okay. Now that we've heard from. It went everywhere. Everyone started talking about it. Made them all post pictures and videos of the movie everywhere, and we were so proud as a nation. You made us proud. Thank you for that moment, for that film. Members of the Africa Movie Academy jury are, like has been said several times, both at the press conference and also at the red carpet, are people that actually ensure that every film, that's why it's called an academy, they ensure that the films that get nominated and then finally win are the right kind of films. So they are professionals in their rights who have gone through the school of life and practice of theater, film, society. And that's why they all made it to be part of the jury. And the good thing is that they all are coming from different spheres or different parts of this sphere, from festival directors to founders of festivals to filmmakers to professor of cinematography and a lot more. Journalists, they are all part of the jury. And that is why we're taking our time while they are counting down, really, as we speak, and they are dropping it bits by bits. So we're going to keep our fingers crossed and hope that very soon, in a few minutes, the jury will bring out the list that we're expecting. And then we'll see what will come out from the 45 films were listed, not 30. There was an error earlier. And then we also would like to appreciate the owners of this place we are today, Ebony Life partners for 2020 African Movie Academy Awards. And we appreciate them for supporting and partnering with us this year. It's a beautiful thing to always partner with the best. So thank you, and I'm sure you all visit Ebony Life Cinemas. I mean, it's a beautiful place, as you can see. I'd like to still talk about the movie, The Milkmaid. I'd like to invite the CEO of Africa Film Academy, the organizers of African Movie Academy Awards, Miss Peace Anyam Osigwe. Please put your hands together for her as she comes up to hand the microphone.
Good evening. Well, I think you asked Desmond a particular question about the Milkmaid and going to the box office. Now, the topic of the Milkmaid is not very popular by a lot of people, but I think the Milkmaid has gotten international recognition. It was written about by, I think it was the Financial Times. It's gotten a lot of backup for the Nigerian film industry. It's one of those films that we at AMA have had a lot of traction for, that it's coming from a Nigerian filmmaker. So if we look back at some of the films that have helped to tell the journey of African cinema, you would find that The Milkmaid is one of them. Also, so I don't know how many people remember a film like Viva Riva. And, well, I was just talking about The Milkmaid, The White Smoke, Left the Vatican, and the nominees. are finally ready. The Vatican smoke of white has come out as the president of the jury, Mr. Honorable Steve Ayorinde, just walked into the room. So please a round of applause for him. So, you know, we don't know anything until the white smoke comes out of the jury. It's always like that. So I think that I'll just say that it might be difficult for a film like Milkmaid to go to the cinema in Nigeria, but it is traveling and it will continue to travel. It's one of those films that keeps getting invited to film festivals across the world, and I know that it will continue. Congratulations to Desmond, and I wish I had your patience about recovering your investment. Mr. Lorenzo, can I sit down, please?
Thank you very much. Please a round of applause for her. The moment we've been waiting for is just around the corner. But I'd like to quickly mention officially that we have the head of jury for Africa Movie Academy Awards 2021 in the building. Ladies and gentlemen, Honorable Steve Ayorinde. He's actually coming from that particular hot space where they've been trying to making sure that they have something, and it's going to even be hotter after today for them. I don't envy the jury members at all. Ladies and gentlemen, we have some other members of the jury. They're all over the place right now because, I mean, it's that moment that in Africa, in the world, it's called the award period, you know, awards and festivals. So a lot of them are traveling and making sure they're leading in different places that they belong already. So I'd like to recognize John Akomfra, who is also a member of the jury and is best known as one of the founders of the Black Audio Film Collective, which was declared towards examining issues of Black British identity through film and studies, and media studies. Please put your hands together for John Akomfra. I'd like to also recognize Bernie Goldblatt, who was made head of jury for the 13th edition of the Africa Movie Academy Awards and did a great job. Please put your hands together for Bernie Goldblatt. And also, I'd like to recognize Charles Burnett, who is from Mississippi. He's an African-American film director, film producer, a writer, editor, actor, photographer, and cinematographer. His most popular films include Killer of the Sheep, which was made in 1978, by the way, and My Brother's Wedding, which was made in 1983. And he has been involved in other types of motion pictures, including shorts, documentaries, and TV series. Please, let's put our hands together for Mr. Charles Bonnet. I'd like to also recognize a Zimbabwean film curator known popularly as Keith Shiri. Please put your hands together for him. He's popular in Nigeria, and of course because he's a Nigerian journalist, performing artist, and film curator. He's been described as the most consistent documentarist on Nollywood-related topics. In 2010, he published a book titled Movie Dumb that narrates the developmental stages of Nollywood. He is head of board of jury at the 12th AMA, and that was where he played that role, of course, Hussein. His name is Mr. Shuabu Hussein, Dr. Shuabu Hussein. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to also recognize June Givani. June Givani is based in London as a film curator and is pioneering international film curator who has considerably had experience in film and programming for over 30 years, and she is regarded as a resource for Africa and African diaspora. Please put your hands together for June. I'd like to also recognize Professor Hyginus Ekwazi, who was Dean, Faculty of Arts, University of Ibadan, He was also Director General, Nigerian Film Corporation, and a lot of Nigerian cinematographers give credit to him as their mentor. Ladies and gentlemen, Professor Hyginus Ikwazi. I'd like to also recognize Ayuko Babu, who is the founder of the Pan-African Film Festival and has served on the board of different other festivals across the world. He's also an international legal, cultural, and political consultant specializing in African affairs. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Ayuko Babu. We also have Asantewa Olatunji, who has practiced law in Southern California area for 27 years. And she's also served as the head of jury for African Movie Academy Awards. Ladies and gentlemen, Asantewa Olatunji. We also appreciate Dorothy Wenner, who was a German film curator and journalist, and has served as curator at the Berlin International Film Festival since 1990. Her documentaries often transgress borders of traditional genres. Ladies and gentlemen, she's also served as head of jury at the Honors. Dorothy Wenner, please. We also have Philip Savadogo, who is a Burkina film critic and politician, and was the Minister of Culture, Tourism and Communication for Burkina Faso. He has also served as ambassador of his country to many European countries, including France. He's presently permanent observer to the United States. Ladies and gentlemen, Philip Savadogo. And now, before I invite, of course I'm going to do a short citation on him when the time comes. Before we invite the jury, I'd like us to, I mentioned that Africa Film Academy has a lot of other projects that they have for 2021 and beyond. So it's my pleasure to ask that let's have the AMA 2021 projects, especially the 100 Film Project and also the Creatives.com projects, please.
17 years long, consistently rewarding the best in African cinema for African filmmakers from across the world. This year, we have initiated a film project called the 100 Film Project. It's part of our training program. Anybody that knows about the Africa Film Academy knows that we've been consistently training young people across Africa. Actually, over 10,000 young people have been trained by the Africa Film Academy. And this year is not going to be any different as we embark on this project. This project is actually redefining our Skills to Work project, which is basically taking people from training them to actually giving them jobs while they've been trained. So initiating a capacity building that leads to individual sustainable employment. Everybody knows that across Africa, one of the biggest problems for young people is the lack of jobs. And therefore, Africa has over 44% unemployment rate for young people under the age of 35. This, we think, will change the narrative, help to make sure that young people are empowered doing what they love to do best. The 100 Film Project also revolves around something that the Africa Film Academy team has been working on for many years. It's the market space for Africa film, which is basically where filmmakers of all kinds can come together in a market space to sell themselves, and that's Creatives.com. So from the Africa Movie Academy Awards, which we've done for 17 years, and Film in the Box, which we've been doing for over 20 years, we've also now come to 100 Film Projects. 100 Film Projects was launched this October and will be online for the next 2 years, and we hope to produce 100 films. We'd like you to join us in this journey. This journey is not only to make films, but to create jobs, sustainable jobs, empowering young people, not just in Nigeria, but all over Africa. And once young people are empowered, the unemployment rate will go down around the continent. Now, for me, creativity is the essence of life. So in training, we can find that we train filmmakers in all aspects. So it includes dressmaking, makeup, cinematography, script writing, and many more, and also interiors, creative design, production design, producing, accounting. You know, what people don't get to remember is that there are over 177 different jobs in a film's creative journey. So whatever you do, join us on this journey. The 100 Film Project, brought to you by the Africa Film Academy. Thank you.
He served as Commissioner for Tourism, Arts and Culture in Lagos State. And before that, he was the Lagos State Commissioner for Information and Strategy, sworn in by His Excellency Governor of Lagos State at the time, Akinwumi Ambode. He was also the Managing Director and Editor-in-Chief of the National Mirror newspaper. Before that, he was the editor of the Punch newspaper in Nigeria. He's also regarded as one of Nigeria's best renowned film and art critics, who has served on the juries for some of the world's most recognized film festivals and awards, such as the Toronto International Film Festival, Cannes Film Festival, Berlin International Film Festival, Mumbai International Film Festival, and most importantly, Africa Movie Academy Awards. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to invite the head of jury for Africa Movie Academy Awards 2021, Honorable Steve Ayorinde.
Thank you very much. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. President and founder of AMA, I greet you. I apologize that I walked in late. Apparently, the list of the nominees came in before me, but I knew that the list would not read itself, so it will have to wait for the head of the jury. It has been a busy week, and especially busy day today, making sure that the standard that AMA is known for is what we bring to the fore this evening. So I greet you one more time, everyone, and I'd like to go straight to reading the list of the nominees in all the 26 categories of AMA for 2021 before it will go live on social media and generally in the media. Thank you. So we'll proceed with the first category, which is the Eferi Osako AMA 2021 Award for Best Short Film. The nominees are Meat from Uganda, En Route from Burkina Faso, A Better Friend from Ghana, Find Me by the River from South Africa, In Extremis from DRC Congo, Portrait of Princess Tutu from Côte d'Ivoire, and last but not the least from that category, The Long Night in Abuja, Nigeria. You will see from practically all the categories that this is, as always, truly representative of the entire continent. It's AMA, it's about the entire Africa and the African diaspora. So you will see that almost every part of the continent is represented. And I think that this year has also been very good. There are a number of countries that will be their first time that they will submit entries for AMA. And that was very heartwarming for us at the jury level. The second category is the Jubril Milafia AMA 2021 Award for Best Animation. One, Room 5 from Ghana, Shaka Inclusi Yamakosi from South Africa, The Pyramid from Egypt, Mofiala from Togo, Lady Bucket and the Motley Mobster from Nigeria, 1,000 Feet from Uganda, and from Algeria is White Night. Third category, which is Award for Best Documentary, Softy from Kenya, The Sacred Woods, Tunisia, Postcard from Morocco, Unmasked, Leadership, Trust and the Pandemic from Nigeria, Linda, Under Lockdown, South Africa, Bulembo, History of a Culture from DRC Congo, Nobot from Uganda, and Zinde from Nigeria. AMA 2021 Award for Best Diaspora Short Film. 3 Leaves from Haiti. In other news, Canada. Blue, United States. The Burn Identity, Switzerland. And No Comprendo from the United Kingdom. For the AMA Award for Best Diaspora Documentary, only 3 nominees, and all from the United States. Akwaba, The Awakening. African Redemption, The Life of Marcus Garvey. Race Today documentary from United Kingdom. So 2 US and 1 from the UK. It is the best diaspora narrative feature that we have all from the US. Ride Share, Hal King, and Residue, all from the US. Those are the 3 nominees for the AMA 2021 Award for Best Diaspora Narrative Feature. For the Michael Ayamusigwe AMA 2021 Award for Best Film by an African Living Abroad. Blackmail by Obi Emenoye, Nigeria/UK. First Call, Angela Honora, Nigeria/Canada. KIAB, Eric Zoa and Alexi Osika from Cameroon/USA. And last but not the least, Gone by Daniel Ademinoko, Nigeria, USA. Category 8, Usman Semben AMA 2021 Award for Best Film in an African Language. Bangarani by Robin Udungu from Kenya. Aila by Tunde Kelani from Nigeria. The Gold Digger's Wife by Kada Ahmed from Somalia. Hotel on the Copies by Charlie Vundla from South Africa. Nyara by Ram Ali Kasongo from Tanzania. And Stain by Maurice Bugisha from Uganda. 9. AMA 2021 Achievement in Costume Design. 5 nominees. African American, Buried, Obabiolorun, Tekura, and Eagle's Wing. AMA Award for Achievement in Makeup. Again, 5 nominees. Fried Barry, Tekura, The Grave Digger's Wife, The Takers, and Mission to Rescue. Award for Achievement in Visual Effects. Nneka, The Pretty Serpent. Stain, Fried Barry, The Takers, Mission to Rescue. 12 is the Award for Achievement in Soundtrack. The Citation, Nyara, The Kidnapper, The Grave Digger's Wife, This Lady Called Life, Hotel on the Copies. 13, Award for Achievement in Sound. Hyra Red, African American, The Grave Digger's Wife, Eimofe, La Femme Anjola. 14th is the AMA 2021 Award for Achievement in Production Design. Tekora, The Takers, Nyara, The Kidnapping, The Grave Digger's Wife, and Shadow Parties. AMA Award for Achievement in Cinematography. Ayla, Black Medusa, Stay, Nyara, The Kidnapping, The Grave Digger's Wife. 16th is Award for Achievement in Editing. Mission to Rescue. Omogeto, The Saga. Nyara, The Kidnapping. Fried Barry, Eimofe. 17th is the Award for Achievement in Screenplay. Chasing Lullaby, Where I Come From. Stay, Collision Course. Hyra Red. 18th is AMA 2021 National Film and Video Censors Board Award for Best Nigerian Film. 8 nominees. Rattlesnake, The Hannah Story. Ayla, Eimofe, The Citation, Omogeto the Saga, La Femme Anjola, Collision Course, and Shadow Party. 19th is award for Best Young and Promising Actor. Wilma Muremira for his role in China. Oluwabamike Olaomi Adenibuya, otherwise known as Bam Bam, for a role in Collision Course. Faith Fidel for a role in Where I Come From. David Weda for his role in Bangarang. Betha Abdallah for his role in Nyara, The Kidnapping. And Hannah Sukali for a role in Fatsani, A Tale of Survival. 20 is AMA 2021 Award for Best Actor in the Supporting Role. Moshid Mugabiri in Monica. Kelechi Udegbe in Collision Course. Mehdi Hadri in Black Medusa. Cameron Scott in Hotel on the Copies. Bimbo Manuel in the movie God. AMA 2021 Award for Best Actress in a Supporting Role. Gloria Anozie Young for a role in Rattlesnake, The Hannah Story. Nana Hayford in Chasing Lullaby. Tumi Morake in Seriously Single. Hazel Hinda in Hira Red. And Ini Edo in The Citation. 22 is AMA 2021 Award for Best Actor in a Leading Role. Gary Green in Fried Barry. Lateef Adedimeji in Ayla. Melvin Anusa in Mission to Rescue. Jude Akudike in Eimofe. Umar Abdi in The Grave Digger's Wife. David Njavera, may the good Lord bless his soul, he passed on in July, in Hira Red, and Nonso Basi in La Femme Anjola. 23 is AMA Award for Best Actress in a Leading Role. Lucy Membaboa in Buried. Funke Akindele in Omogeto the Saga. Sarah Alina Gross in Black Medusa. Joan Agaba in Stain. Fumi Ntembu in African America. Rita Dominic in La Femme Anjola. And Claudine the Groot in Hira Red. AMA Award for Best First Feature Film by Director. China by Beatrice Musvaure Af from Zimbabwe. African American by Muzi Ntembu from South Africa. Eimofe by Chuko Anaye Siri from Nigeria. The Grave Digger's Wife by Kada Ahmed from Somalia. Black Medusa by Youssef Chebi and Ismail from Tunisia. And last but not the least, Fried Barry by Ryan Kruger from South Africa. AMA Award for Best Director. That's number 25. Gilbert Lucania for his role in Mission to Rescue. Ryan Kruger, Fried Barry. Kada Ahmed, The Grave Digger's Wife. Maurice Mugisha in Stain. Chuko Anaye Siri in Eimofe. Oshuveli Shipo in Hira Red. Ramali Kasongo for his directorial role in Nyara, The Kidnapping, and Yusuf Chebi and Ishmael, two directors for the film Black Medusa. And all the films are also the ones listed in category 26 with their countries of origin. AMA 2021 Award for Best Film. The nominees: Mission to Rescue from Kenya, Fried Barry from South Africa, The Grave Digger's Wife, Somalia, Stay, Uganda, Eyimufe, Nigeria, Hyra Red from Namibia, Nyara the Kidnapping from Tanzania, and last but not the least from Tunisia is Black Medusa. Those are the nominees. Thank you. Thank you very much. Once again, merci beaucoup.
Thank you, thank you. I always say that I can't thank the AMA Academy of Juries enough. Their job is one of the hardest jobs. Augustine has not slept in probably the last 10 days because as head of jury, all the films that have come through the 5 different stages of AMA and then shortlisted from the College of Screeners, he will watch all those films again and again as head of jury before he even has the discussion with the remaining jury members. So whenever we start this part of it, there's one thing that my jury always tells us. They tell me it's the business before the show. And it's a balance because they all have a reputation to keep. They all have been curators in African cinema for many years. So we have Dorothy Werner, who's been at the Berlinale. And I'll tell you a story about Honorable Steve Oronde because I remember what Lorenzo was saying. I was laughing. Even before I came back to Nigeria many years ago, I had met Steve on the circuit. He was one of those filmmakers or film critics that was always at international festivals. And this is even before I knew that I was ever going to set up anything called AMA. You know, it was one of those funny things. You meet people along the way. I never knew we would have an AMA, but we would bump into each other in one festival or another many years before AMA started. So he has, I think this is his real passion in a way, film, watching film, because he's been doing this for many years, and he has the also ability, which most people don't know, that he speaks French as well, so it makes my life easier when we go to things like Cannes. Sherwood Husseini, who has actually worked on the AMA screening committee, he's actually chairman of the screening committee, and he's been for over 10 years now. He runs the colleges and also participates in the jury, so when we shut down submissions, their work starts. So what people have to realize that over 100 people get to watch this film in the pre-selection stage. So for over 10 weeks right now, we've been watching films. I also want to thank the screening committee logistics person who heads that indirectly and coordinates and has an amazing patience to work with Sherwood Hussein and the jury. Please, Ms. Kite Anyemosige. She is Michael Anyemosige's wife, so she actually has worked with me for many years in AMA, and she's taking over this stage. And the good thing is that they understand, and like always she says to me, don't worry, I know how to handle Augustine. I know how to handle Augustine. So please, thank you, Kite. Thanks for taking that. I appreciate your patience. I appreciate you for taking my shouting as well, which I do all the time to you, especially when, where's Augustine? Has the smoke not come out? I mean, thank you. I want to thank the team. I am coming here today more like an observer, okay? And I'll say that honestly. Oyi Talabi, I'd like to thank you. I would like to thank Habib, where is he? Habib is one of my major strategy team. Young, vibrant, a pain in the, yes, Mr. Connectors I call him. Abiola, where are you? Abiola is heading the 100 Film Project. He's a little dynamite. He's crazy. He nags. Where are you, my naga? There you are. Please, Abiola, stand up. Then, where is he? He's also, I'm sure, busy right now. There's Ahmed from Cameroon, Alex from Cameroon, and there's also Mickey. You know, I want to thank all of them for taking the pressure off me. You know, because it's also good to recognize the people that are kind of running stuff now, because I've had to put two heads. I'm also the president of the Association of Movie Producers, and I think my watchdogs are here. The financial secretary of the Association of Movie Producers, Mr. Tony Chukuma, my chief of staff, Mr. Sonny Joslin. I'm sure they're trying to make sure that their boss is still standing. Yes, I am here. But I want to also, for many years now, Lorenzo has been working on production. He's actually been the production coordinator for AMA for at least the last 3 years. There's another one that has to take my screaming and my shouting when they're doing the last minute stages. So today, their real work starts, you know, getting in touch with all the nominees and everything. And like I said, I want to thank the media. We would not be AMA without your support. What AMA has achieved in the last 17 years has been achieved because you people have understood our journey and have supported us every which way. Whenever we call on you, you answer us. And please, we at AMA would like to give you a round of applause for supporting us. I'm sorry for keeping you so late, but like we say, there's one thing we don't do at AMA, which people don't understand. The jury has total control of the process of AMA. That I cannot interfere with. That I am unable to interfere with. If I have to share communication between I and Oga Steve, everybody will say, huh? Is the truth. I cannot control them. They are actually separately in charge of their process. We are in charge of putting the show together and this, but they are totally in charge of what they select. So I want to thank everybody. I do not envy my jury on the selection of these films. It is a tough year. I can see that in the best film, yes, I can see some areas that I'm looking at and I'm like, how are you guys going to do it? Best director, best film. There's some very strong films. I see a film that just came out from First Parkway. Yes, that's strong. And your face is strong. Mission to Rescue is strong. I mean, come on. Good luck to you, Augustine. Your chair, this year, Mr. President, there's no sleep for you. Herab is strong. Oh, wow, Black Medusa, Tunisia. Good luck. I shall just go back and sleep. Congratulations to all the nominees. I look forward to seeing you on the 28th of November. Thank you.
The CEO of AMA for being there, for being consistent. It's not easy to put up something like this and still keep it running for 17 years. A lot could have gone through under the water, under the bridge, and still she is standing. You know, I was telling someone that AMA may one day, even if there is nothing, no money, hold in a living room, but if it's about consistency, it will happen. Because AMA is here for Africa. It's not just a one-man business. So another round of applause for her. Thank you, ma'am. We also thank the Lagos State government. We thank the Akwaba. We thank Viva Distribution. We thank Moet and Shandor. We thank the Marriotts. They are the ones that that's where AMA will hold in 2021. We thank the Anya Mosigwe and Co. and Mosigwe Foundation. We thank Rock. We thank Star Times, Silverbird Television, Film One, The Guardian, The Cable, Bella Niger, Spice, East State, Bank of Industry, IDCL, and a lot of other media partners, Spice. There's a long list. I'm not sure we were able to mention them. And finally, we thank Ebony Life Place for giving us this space and also being a partner for 2021. Thank you, and we hope to see you on the 28th of November, 2021 at the Marriott, Ikeja. That's where it's happening. Sorry? We'll be there. Okay. Please put your hands together for them. They'll be there. They'll be there. So please, announce the glitz and glam. It's happening. The red carpet is going to be crazy, as always, on our stage. Just don't miss it. I want to especially thank Mr. Adebakare. That's like me saying, thank you. Just in case I get a free outfit.
What do you think has kept Amma going?
I think it's the belief in what we're doing. I think everybody wants to do AMA, as in the team wants to do AMA, because it's a vacuum we feel in African cinema, where we actually let the world know what is the best in African cinema. And I think if we've lasted 17 years, we're doing something right. Well, the 100 Film Project is actually just taking something that I've been doing. You know, I've always trained young people across Africa, but most of the time you train and then they don't have anything to go to or jobs to go to. So, empower them to make their next film, the first film, and that way they will be employed to do like evolve having their own production company whilst learning. So after you learn, you now have your production company and your production team. That's what we're actually doing now. So because over the years when I train, there's the next thing is they're hanging around. So I just realized that there wasn't any need to train if they can't practice. So we're going to take each stage at a time, train, then move you into the next stage of actually practicing, and then showing you the way to process it to make sure you go from script to screen. And that's why we've partnered with a whole lot of different people to actualize it. So not only will they submit 3-line scripts, we will now develop them in a boot camp before we choose the final scripts that will be made. And the distributors will also be involved throughout the whole process so that they'll know what works, because the distributors are the ones that know what cinemas want, what the streamers want, what everybody wants.
Okay, it's quite sharing that entries are coming from places we've never had before, and of course some other films that are involved in, European countries, American companies, from filmmakers. How do you feel about this?
Well, I was glad to see Arab Africa submitting this year and submitting in quite a few numbers, because normally they don't, so I was happy to see Tunisia, Algeria, Morocco submit their films this year, and I was happy that they have started to accept AMA. Haiti as well brought in their film. So I think for us it's showing that there's more acceptance regardless. Initially there was all this, oh, maybe it's a Nigerian thing, but it's gone. That's long gone now. Everybody's fine with the fact that it is an African award.
Yeah, as the president of the jury. But the difference is that last year it was a pandemic era. Most of the things that we did were basically virtual. But this year, I was telling somebody, half of the jury, for example, was in FESPACO, which is the biggest, perhaps one of the biggest film festivals in Africa. So it was an opportunity for the half of the jury that was in FESPACO to meet, because what we say is that before the nomination, it will be an intensive 3 weeks leading up to the nominations. Once the College of Screeners prune down the number of films, the jury will need about, give and take 3 weeks to look through all the nominated ones and then, start the process of selecting which ones will be nominated. So for me, it's been fun. This time around, at least jury members can travel. Some will come to Nigeria. So it's unlike last year, in which case we were cocoon. This year has been nice.
has been very buoyant. The discussions have been, a lot more elevated, and we've also had more films than last year. So you can see from the lineup of the films that we had, film from Tunisia, film from Namibia, from Tanzania. Last year was also good though. About 5 of the films that we had were their country's representatives too at the Oscars, including the Nigerian film that won for AMA last year, The Milkmaid. This year too, there are about 1 or 2 that we've already had, at their country's representative. But what I like most about this year is the fact that many more African countries that have not been, it takes time to join, are also now on board. Short films, animation films. I mean, almost like 200 animation films, which is why you will see that we are nominating about 8. I mean, that's something to encourage you. Not everybody will be able to shoot feature films. You will need support. It's not like most African countries are not like Nigeria, where you can do pa. Elsewhere in Africa, people wait for commission, their film commissions, donor agencies, etc., to support them. So we applaud the fact that when a country says, oh, the only thing we're able to send is a short film or animation, it gladdens our heart that at least they are participating. So participation has been key. And like a film festival, what AMA does to you is that, it's a window into the culture and tradition and values of other countries, and you see that through the eyes of the filmmaker, through the cinemas of their country. So it's a major platform that allows you, as a critic, as a juror, as somebody who has film in his DNA, to enjoy what the African cinema is saying. I think African cinema has come of age, and I'm also particularly elated this year that unlike the previous years, we now have Nigerian films competing very well in the highly technical areas. You have our films in editing categories, in production, in set design, in screenplay, in all those ones, not just acting. We're not just all about melodrama. We now have films that are competing favorably with the best in other parts of Africa that have funding and co-production agreements, with other people elsewhere. So I like that this year, life is gradually returning, and we can see that return in, the quality of films that were submitted. You're welcome.